What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. It's on site. It's a beautiful Sunday today. The sun's out after a pretty bad storm over here on the East Coast. But, that's how it is. That's New England weather for you. Hope everyone's enjoying themselves and enjoying the Sunday, getting ready for the week to come. But, yeah, I would say my week has been eventful. And I guess, the highlight of my week was I secured the PS5. And I want to dwell on that a little bit. I want to talk about the games I've been playing, and if you guys seen the IG page, follow Onsite Pod. But Miles Morales in particular, because that game is just I just want to dive in and just pick it apart. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm just been having so much fun with it, and I hope you guys have I'm trying to express and just put that positivity in the air and that good luck magic in the air for you guys. Hopefully everybody can secure either this month in time for the holidays and all that good stuff. I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about the Godzilla and King Kong monster movie that's coming out next year, and it look May next year, because why not? Movies are fun. And talk about, maybe dive into the John Wall and John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade, and we'll see where it goes from there. Let's see how we're doing on time to talk about that trade, if anything. But realistically, what hasn't been said, I feel like let me just get that out of the way first, then, because John Wall, it's pretty much one wanted to go to the other's team, and vice versa. Russell Westbrook wanted to play with Scott Brooks, and he wanted to just get away from Houston, and John Wall just wanted to get away from Washington, I guess. And quite honestly, it's kind of hard to put comparison, because Russell Westbrook is definitely a better player than John Wall. And the fact of the matter is, even though we've seen that John Wall still has his explosiveness, and it seems like he's starting to get back to his old self, we just don't know how far he's come, because he's been out of the league for 2 years because he's been hurt. But yeah, that's just a bunch of questions, and I believe Houston was the one who got a first-round pick with John Wall. So I guess from the looks of it, I guess it was Houston realized, both teams looked at it as a downgrade for Houston, so I guess that's why the first-round pick is going down to Texas anyway. But yeah, and does it make both the teams better? That remains to be seen. I feel like the Wizards get better because the fact that they didn't have John Wall for the last 2 years, but Bradley Beal has another running gun mate, and we'll just see where that goes. But it seems like Westbrook's excited. He's hopefully this means Harden stays in Houston, because quite honestly, if Harden were to get traded, it would only really be, for me, I would only believe maybe Philadelphia or Brooklyn. But also, he doesn't have a no trade clause, and he's signed for the next couple of years, so he can request a trade, but it doesn't mean Houston's gonna be oh man, we have to make this happen. No, that's not how it is, because he's not gonna sit out the season, or unless it's really that bad. But who knows? But hey, we just gotta wait and see, and hopefully those guys be putting up numbers for fantasy, because that's coming up for me too. And even talking about fantasy basketball, first time I tried it was last year, and it was fun. So hopefully them dudes can get me some points this coming season. But enough of that. Want to dive into PS5. I want to dive into the PS5. PS5, with my personal experience with it now, I like it. And I upgraded my setup. I'm still upgrading my entire setup, and I'm trying to fix up a room to put everything in. And that's the most I'm going to say about that. But my gaming setup in particular, got a new monitor, and then to get ready to eventually get the PS5. And I played a few games. Call of Duty is it feels a little bit better on there. I like the controller on the PS5, but it's this is what I'll be talking about with people. I'll talk about, and my friends my friends really kind of put me onto this too. It's PlayStation tries more and more to make an Xbox controller, their version of an Xbox controller, and it makes sense, because the controller for the PS5 is a little bit, I won't even say bulkier, but I guess it's more, protected than what the previous ones have been. Pretty fragile and kind of just made of plastic and stuff. This feels like the same material that the Xbox One controller has. And hey, I'm gonna give Xbox credit. They probably make a better controller than PlayStation does, but I do like this one. But yeah, it's fun, and it hasn't really given me any problems and all this stuff. And after I see like people would get it, and then they'll try certain things that they were doing with their PS4, acting like business as usual. You got to remember, like if you're lucky enough, you want to protect that thing, especially if you, because I guarantee most of the time people didn't take the time to check off like the warranties and stuff. But even then, if it were to mess up on you, it would probably be a little while before you can get another one, even if you did have the warranty, because those things are still going out. I was just one of the lucky ones when the drop came for me. But I didn't. It was like a bundle, and one of those games was Spider-Man. And I've said on this show that I'm a huge Marvel fan, and like I was talking about the Spider-Man game, I believe, like I think a couple months back. I think while it was still in the summertime, and I've said how much I loved the Spider-Man game, like the first one anyway, like the game of the year of 2018. I got that game of the year edition, and I always like, even though I like multiplayer games, but if it's a story I can get behind, or it's something that I find fun or like I find interesting, like in this case Marvel, I'm a huge Marvel fan, and I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Stuff like this always intrigues me, and especially like when it comes like with the newer game. I didn't know a bunch about Miles Morales before, like it started, like until I started kind of reading up and watching videos on like Spider-Man and the whole Spider-Verse and things like that. And it took me a while to even watch the Into the Spider-Verse movie. I didn't watch it when it initially came out, and to be honest, I don't think I watched it until even up to this year, to be honest with you guys. But talking about the game, I'm not going to spoil anything though, but I haven't completed it like I said before, but it reminds me a lot of the older game, but I feel like they did make good adjustments, and the story is still intriguing to me. I like that they give you a bunch to do, and I know a lot of people I know don't like story-based games or just like single player, but that game, like you can, like when it comes to that game, I have to give that game kind of like my undivided attention. It's not like something like I can be playing 2K and I can have music playing, or like I can have like my mind elsewhere and stuff. But like with a game like that, it's kind of like you're watching a movie. Like that's kind of what it feels like at times. It's pretty much an interactive movie. That's kind of how story-based video games are, you know. And in this case, it's like I've had the interest, like it's piqued my interest because I love Spider-Man, and like it gets me to learn about like the universe and the story they're trying to tell. And I even got the remastered version of the old game, which I'm probably just gonna do a whole playthrough again pretty soon. But it's fun. I like it. I like the suits and stuff. The thing is with like Miles, like I'm always confused because I always remember like they would say like, oh, he's the Black Spider-Man and this, that, and the other. I got like people got to understand the dude's Puerto Rican. In the game, I'm assuming, well, in the game he's half Puerto Rican and half black. So the thing is like the kid or the person who plays Miles, he sounds like he just sounds like blatantly black. And when he tries to speak Spanish, it sounds weird. Because it just sounds like somebody, like he has no accent, so it just sounds like it's him trying to just, he's speaking Spanish with no accent, and it just sounds weird to me, and it sounds funny whenever like he has like a quip or something when he's speaking Spanish, because like his mom is just like full Puerto Rican, and then his dad was black. But yeah, like I like playing the game. The game is fun, and it always gets me excited because I believe that eventually Miles is gonna make his way into like the movies eventually, especially with how like they're planning the Spider-Verse, and like I know Spider-Man 3 or the upcoming Spider-Man 3. I think this time next year it's when it's dropping, and hopefully this time next year the world is somewhat normal, at least like with this whole virus thing, and I can go back to the movies every other week and whatnot, because movies are fun. They're always fun to talk about with my friends, and I feel like, and like I said, I said before on the show, it's an escape, and I always find it just like it immerses me into a different universe, and I can shut my phone off for a little while and just enjoy the moment. So yeah, despite like all these upcoming movies are so exciting for me, and in particular, I'm gonna just switching gears here, King Kong versus Godzilla. King Kong versus Godzilla. Though these types of Titan monster movies are always like ever since I first watched the first Godzilla, not the one made in the 90s or the really old ones, but the 2014 one when they kind of like did like this trilogy or whatever they're trying to do with the like this Titan monster universe. That movie in particular, that movie's awesome. I remember my math class, funny enough, it's funny enough, it was like I was in like 7th grade and we won some contest because I don't know, it was like doing homework, like I guess all of us like did our homework or something, and we got a chance to go see, we were either going to go see like some animated like goofy little kids movie, or it was to go see Godzilla. And thank God everybody came to their senses and picked Godzilla because that movie was awesome. And this was before I really got into understanding like how movies and like when franchises and movie universes worked. Understanding like it's a Titan monster universe. And I'm like using Titan it's pretty much like it's a Titan. I'm trying not to say Titan monster. I guess it's a monsterverse or whatever. So I didn't realize that King Kong and Godzilla could be in the same universe and with all these other creatures and stuff. And the Kong Skull Island, when I went to go see that movie was also awesome. And the thing is, it's two totally different settings. And Kong Skull Island was a prequel to the 2014 Godzilla, and they even teased Godzilla at the end in the end credit scene. And I give kudos to the people who make those movies because to be honest, if the story isn't realistically what the story doesn't even have to really be good. If the effects are good and like the destruction, because that's what people would watch those movies for, just to watch these big ass CGI monsters just like trying to murk each other and like in modern day New York or whatever. I know the most recent Godzilla was in Boston, which was cool. But yeah, going back to like Kong Skull Island with like when I was talking about the settings, yeah, like the 2014 Godzilla, I believe that was in not San Diego. It was in modern day California, and I believe in Kong Skull Island it's in some like jungle or something like South America or something like that, or the Bermuda. Some place had like I want to say extraterrestrial, but like just out of this world kind of stuff going on over there. And it's cool how they all make it make sense and like how like they create the story and have it all like come full circle with why these things are here, like because they were mutated from like the atomic bomb or for bombing tests and stuff. And it makes sense because it ties like real world history into the stories, and I always find that cool. And like these giant monsters, you see like a 3-headed dragon, like all these motherfuckers are just like towering over skyscrapers and whatnot. And like I just had to put emphasis and like use explicit language because just to grasp the picture of like these big monsters just towering over modern day cities and whatnot and just destroying everything. So like that has way more environmental destruction than any superhero movie I've seen or any Avengers movie or anything like that. And I would say like and I got put on when I was young, and then I was just hooked to those types of movies. Like I remember Rampage with The Rock. That movie was awesome. I had to drag my friends over there to go see it when it came out, and they were like, and that was when Rampage, and then Godzilla came out maybe the month after that too. And it was 2018. 2018 was a fun year for movies for me, but like my friends weren't really feeling it at first when we went to go see it. They were like, "Hey, screw it, let's go see a movie." And then I got them hooked onto those types of monster movies too, because like I said, even if it's a not a very, I'm not saying if it's a bad story, it's a bad movie. I'm not saying that. Like most of the time, that's what it is, because the story is supposed to drive the movie, and then like everything else is just supposed to be icing on the cake. But when it came to like movies like that, again, you don't like, as long as the story makes sense and people can follow it, the destruction can just like help carry the movie as well. Like I said, if it's bad effects, and then people are really gonna start nitpicking at the story after that. And pretty much like getting hyped for this movie, like hopefully I'm able to go see it in theaters when like it drops and all that. I know like it's been weird for like box office and movie stuff, like they've been dropping on like HBO, like HBO and Showtime, and making like streaming services so you can watch like movies that are like still in theaters on their platforms for like a X amount of dollars. But when it comes down to it, I just don't know exactly how. Like, I just don't know who would win in a fight like that. And just seeing, like, you just see, like, both these guys are pretty much kind of like the king of the monsters. I know, like, the last Godzilla movie, he was like, he's the king of the monsters. Like, dude, I believe, ate a damn, like, atomic bomb or something. He ate a nuke or something, and then, like, this dude can, like, breathe fire. But then you got King Kong, who could kill a freaking, I don't even know how big of a damn octopus or a squid, and then, like, he eats, like, giant squid for breakfast. If you watch Kong Skull Island, you'll know what I'm talking about. This dude really was just woke up in the morning, and then, like, a giant ass freaking, I don't know, would you call it a kraken? Yeah, like, them big ass squids or whatever, and just, like, stomped on his head, and then just starts eating it like it's breakfast. And it's crazy. Like I said, it's crazy how stuff like that. Imagine, like, that was going on in the real world. I want to just think about that. You just see giant freaking, like, 400-foot tall monsters, just like, or like a big ass butterfly, because that was like Mothra in the new movie, in the Godzilla movie, like a giant butterfly flying over and shit. Like, I'm just saying, those movies always get, like, I always find joy in watching those movies. It's like, just get away from everything and stuff like that. It's always a fun movie, just to, like, I don't know, just like, yeah, like, just get hyped for it. Movies always been a good time. And if you don't like movies, that's like you telling me you don't like pizza. So I hope after you guys were hearing this, it kind of puts you on to at least go and watch some of these movies. Like, I would encourage you guys to watch those Godzilla movies and watch, like, the King Kong movies. The 2005 one, I'm not, I don't think I'm the biggest fan of. And besides, like, those damn bugs and stuff in that movie really gave me the creeps. And, like, I don't really like bugs in the first place, but yeah, like, the movies I've made from, like, 2014 on, like, from, I believe, Legendary Pictures or something like that, like, them and I think Warner Brothers, like, are the main studios who do that. But I would encourage you guys to go and watch those movies. If before your weekend's up, like, after listening to this, go and watch, like, King Kong or Godzilla or even Rampage, because Rampage is good too. But yeah, just trying to wrap this up. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, the heart wants what the heart wants, and my heart right now wants some food. So I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Love y'all. Be sure to follow on site on social media, and be sure to tune in every Sunday talking about movies, sports, television, just pop culture stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed. Love y'all. See you all next week. It's on site.